I'm a little art fan. Today I actually want to talk to you about the 5 reasons why I started an art channel instead of a gaming channel. But before we do that, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so that way you won't miss my uploads. And also, when I'm not creating art videos, I do play video games, just as an FYI. So the first reason why I started an art channel instead of a gaming channel is number 1, cost and resources. So as you may know, I started out YouTube just recently, so I am a new YouTuber, and so therefore I decided to make sure when I started creating my channel, I have to make sure that what resources do I need in order to create content. So art resources, depending on the type of medium that you use, can vary in cost, but for me, I use colored pencils, markers, and a sketchbook. Those are the materials that I use to create my videos. So the cost between my art supplies and gaming supplies are significantly different, and so the starting price for the art supplies is much more cheaper than the gaming supplies. So that's the first reason, cost and resources. The second reason why I started an art channel is because games are expensive. So with this point, I'm actually gonna go super in depth with this point that I'm making, because this is probably one of the biggest reasons out of all the other reasons that I'm gonna mention in this video, but this is probably the biggest reason, is because games are super duper expensive. So just like I said earlier in the video, that I do play games when I'm not making art videos. But what I've noticed the past decade, ever since the Xbox 360 came out, from that year on, it had okay, so this is the pattern I'm saying from that year and on, right? So these developers, they produce these games and they sell them. They make the game and then they sell them. But it's the structure of the games. This is the reason why games are expensive. Is due to the fact that it's the structure of the game and how they make the games. So for those of you who don't play video games often, this is really good information, and I really encourage you to listen to this. So again, it's the structure of these games that are made nowadays solely because these developers make a game that is not finished practically, and so they try to sell it for about, on average, $30 to $50. That's like the most common number pricing that these video games are nowadays. So anywhere between $30 to $50. I'm just gonna use $30 just to make to prove my point here. So they make a game that is unfinished, it's not finished, and they sell it for $30, right? Because you bought it and you're like, oh, I want to see what this game is all about. And you play the game for a couple hours, and then you realize that this game is basically empty. There's not much detail in there. There's not a lot of characters, or whatever the case may be. There's just not enough content inside that game. And the reason why there's not enough content inside that game is because they don't want to complete a game. They don't want to spend time, money, and investment in that game, so that way when they do sell it, they don't want to risk that game to flop. So that's why they make an incomplete game. However, I do not care if it's flop or whatever. I don't care about that reason, because I am paying for a game that is $30. Why am I? It's like you're going into a store, and somebody tries to sell you a product, but it's not the full product. So why would you want to spend that money on there? So this is what I've been noticing these types of games in the past few years now. So then on top of that, so when you complete the game and you leave a review about that game, and if enough people leave a review on that game, that determines whether the developers would invest more time and effort into that game. So what ends up happening is you have to wait for these updates after maybe a couple months or even a couple years. So this is what really boggles my mind, is that why do I have to wait why do I have to wait for these updates when I pay the game $30 to $50? That's my biggest issue. So these updates can be already installed in the game, or they could come in as add-ons or DLCs, downloadable content. The DLCs, my goodness, why do they sell downloadable content? This is, again, sometimes they put DLCs out there that should have been in the game in the first place, and they try to sell it for the same price as the game itself. Think about that for a minute. So therefore, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to give you a specific game example, Sims 4. So I'm just going to put a chart, a screenshot that this is a screenshot of the chart that I created myself, because for one, I own the game, so I did research upon it, and so I just want you to take a look at that chart. So let's take a look at this chart right here that you see right in front of you right now. So basically this chart, this spreadsheet, is basically all the different types of add-ons in the Sims 4 game. So if you own the Sims 4, me in particular, so when I turn on my game, I put in the Sims 4. They take you to like the home screen, and they have like different categories, and because there are different categories, they're differently priced. So, and the reason why they're differently priced is because of how big the add-on is. So we have the expansion packs, the game packs, the stuff packs, and the kits. So those are the categories that are there in the Sims 4. So, and you can look up the prices like while you're in the game, because what ends up happening is, where are these numbers coming from? I took it from my game, and as if I was gonna download it, but I really wasn't. I was just looking at the numbers. So the expansion packs, for instance, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 11 expansion packs, right? So they're each $39.99. And then the sales tax, again, it shows it when you're about to buy the game. So if you go to like the Microsoft store and you see that you'll see that number. So then it's going to show you that the full amount that you're going to pay is $42.49. So what I ended up doing, right, is I added up all of these numbers right here, and what I got is $467.90. So this number represents what a person would spend, whether it's incrementally of each of these DLC packs. This is how much they would have invested in that game. Think about that for a minute. Then we go on to the game packs. It's the same thing. So, and the reason why the sales tax is different, I don't know if you noticed. So we have the game packs, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, there's 10 of them. So, and as you can see, the cost is $19.99, and that's because it's a little bit smaller than the expansion packs. So therefore, the sales tax is going to be a little bit more smaller. So the sales tax is $1.25. So that makes it $21.24. And now if somebody were to just buy all the game packs, it would be $212.40. So again, think about that. And we go to the stuff packs. Okay, I didn't label all the stuff packs, but there are 18 stuff packs here. I just listed some of them. So again, it costs almost $10. And then the sales tax is 62 cents. That makes it $10.61. You take 1061 times 18. That gives you $190.98. And then we go to the kits. Same thing, $37.10. So now let's just say, for instance, if somebody were to, so the total, actually, sorry, let me backtrack a little bit. So the total cost of this game, like how much is this game worth? This would be probably, this is the number that I came up with, $907.87, and that's from adding the total cost of each of these add-ons together. So that, again, $907.87. And don't get me wrong, I spent some of the I downloaded some of these DLC packs. So, and I'll tell you what I did spend on there. Okay? So I spent about, what did I spend on? I spent on Cause Living, Get Together, Cats and Dogs Seasons, Vampires, Parenthood, Bitches Glamour, and Get Famous. So I even calculated it in my notebook, right? So that I spent $265.54 on this game. And why do these numbers really matter? Because you spent $30 purchasing the game itself. That's why. This is the point that I'm really making. This is why I had to go in so deep with the second point, that games are so expensive nowadays. Because again, some of these things are relative to each other. These DLCs are really, really, like, for instance, since Cats and Dogs, right? That's an expansion pack. But why in the world would they make My First Pet as a separate pack? Because they're trying to milk your money. So, and again, paranormal and spooky should have been kind of almost together. So just be mindful when you're purchasing these games, because again, these numbers by itself, $39.99, $19.99, what I don't care what number it is, but just be wary of what you're spending, because you are contributing to the fact that you're contributing to these types of modern games nowadays. Just be mindful of that. That's why I had to go so in deep. This is why it's so long, but I had to really, really make this point. So I just want to recap, because I know this was kind of long than I really wanted it to. So the first point is cost and resources, and number 2 is games are expensive, and those 2 points lead up to my third point, and my third point is trends come and they go. So again, keeping the first 2 points in mind, because those are the main factors that lead up to this third point, is the fact that trends come and they go. So if I was if I was to create a video game content on my YouTube channel, what's gonna happen is, depending on what type of games that I play, sometimes the length of the game can last for 1 to 3 days, depending on how long the game is, or it can even last up to a week. So let's just say a game was like 2 hours, 3 hours long, okay, and let's just say that is going to take me, that's enough content for me to break it up into a whole week. So they could be the length of like 30-minute videos, 45-minute videos. But it's based, how it's broken up is based upon how much content you want to put out on that week. So once that's done, that means that I have to go buy another game. So, and it's a rinse and repeat process. So therefore, again, keep in mind, number 1, cost and resources. Number 2, games are expensive. And keep in mind this point, that trends come and they go. So the fourth reason why I started our channel instead of the gaming channel is because of it. The fourth reason is enjoyment. When I first started, when I was like, what if I was to create a YouTube channel, what would it be and how would I go about it? Well, the first things first, I made sure that I promised to myself that when I do make my YouTube videos, I better make sure that I enjoy making the types of videos that I make. And therefore, I said to myself, what do I enjoy doing? I enjoy making art. So again, even though if I wanted to gain more popularity or more subscriber fan base, I could have chose to do games as the main focus on my content for my YouTube channel, but I was like, but that's the second thing I enjoy. I don't want to do something that is second to my enjoyment list. I want to do the first thing that I find enjoyable. And the first thing that I find that I enjoy the most is artwork. So that's the fourth reason why, is because I care about what I want to do, like I care about what I want to do on a daily basis. And what I do on a daily basis, like the daily doodles, is a perfect example. The daily doodles, I enjoy those very, very much because of the fact that I love making art. And I encourage you to do something that you enjoy every day, because it's a waste of time to do something that you don't enjoy. So that is my fourth reason. The fourth reason, and once again, is enjoyment. So the fifth and final reason why I chose to make an art channel instead of the gamer channel is because I was conscious about the setup. So what do I mean by setup? I mean the space that is required for you to place your resources down. So like I said, I mentioned the art resources and I mentioned the gaming resources. So, and my resources, again, is just a sketchbook, my colored pencils, and my markers. And I have an Amazon box where I keep all my art supplies in here. And so, and once I put all my stuff away, it feels like there's almost nothing on the table, which is something that I really, really like. So now imagine if I had the gaming resources, because I'm a gamer, it would just feel like I have so much stuff on the table. So many wires, it would just be too much. So therefore, I was really concerned about the setup and the space that I had. And the space that I have that I work with is just a small table. I have a small table and I'm in a small room. So therefore, I do not have the space to have a gamer setup. So therefore, that is actually my fifth and final reason why I started an art channel instead of a gaming channel. Anyways, once again, those are my 5 reasons why I started an art channel instead of a gaming channel. Once again, I do play video games when I'm not making art. And lastly, leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss my videos. And I hope that this video was very informative for you, because that's what, if I'm not making art videos, I hope that this video is very informative for you. And if it is, that makes me happy. Anyways, I'm a little art fan.